Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Too Short, and you are now watching Cannabis and Kicks. Bitch.
What's up? Welcome back to Cannabis and Kicks TV. I'm your girl, Shelly Styles. Today we got a special guest, Too Short, in the building.
What up?
DJ Who Kid over there.
See ya.
Marcus Malone,
Yeah.
the legendary Broadway. And listen, let's just get right into it today. Tell me what y'all smoking and what y'all wearing on y'all feet and what y'all listening to. Let's start with you.
I'm smoking these bags that Who Kid just gave me. Because I walked in and told him, where the weed at? And he's like, bam. I had two papers in my hand.
Nope.
And he handed me enough weed to
Like
roll
magic, you know what I'm
like
saying?
30 joints. So
Houdini.
I'm smoking these little papers called licorice. It look like a little skinny blunt, but it's really just a joint.
Fire.
And all I'm listening to right now is I'm trapped the fuck out for a few weeks. Just trapped the fuck, ratchet as fuck, trapped as fuck.
Damn.
Females talking shit.
Yeah.
Murder, death, kill, for no reason. I'm feeling like that for a little bit.
Yeah.
So you listen to Glorilla all day?
I'm listening to the Who Kid show. Literally. I'm an avid listener, bro.
Yeah, that's fire, yo. And you know I sneak a lot of your records in and out.
You just keep it ratchet, period.
Especially the classic ones, man.
I gotta say, I like the way you do interviews because half the time I don't know who the fuck you talking to. Yeah. But it's interesting as fuck. Like he don't intro, he just go in the conversation. If you listen, you'll get it. But it's just dope the way you do it. Though.
Yeah. The segue is just seamless. He just like starts to going.
I mean, we bring the same energy here in Cannabis and Kicks TV. So it's basically a hangout, smoking weed, chilling, talking about, legendary situations. You've been through like a million of them. We don't have 10 hours. You know what I'm saying? But, you're like the true hustler, man. You always got like 4 or 5 things going on at the same time. What you got going on currently?
Mount Westmore is very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm focusing on this legacy thing of, okay, you got this great, all these platinum albums and gold albums and songs and shit, but what's really your legacy type shit? So I'm really like thinking more about the legacy of, just leaving things behind that are more than the music, just more like adding to the shit.
Yeah.
People want to write the book and make the movie, but I'm like, bro, them last few chapters ain't done yet. So, I'm just kind of staying busy, man. I'm doing a little radio show called Don't Stop Rapping over on Sirius XM.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I'm definitely doing more solo albums. I got back with my OG partner, Ant Banks.
Oh, see you back with him.
That's exciting.
My original beat-making homie that we made so much together, and we made a bunch of new songs. So, I mean, I'm just doing it, bro. Like little business ventures and shit, and the usual things that most people brag about. I just can't do it. It's just something to me where I can't wear it on the outside. I just got to be it.
Is it safe to say that Too Short is not wearing the big red boots that everybody's wearing? Since we're talking about sneakers.
Yeah, man, I really don't do trends loudly. You know what I mean? Like I don't do the wave. I'll play around with it. Yeah. Like you'll find a picture of me in some little ass jeans, but I didn't just change my shit to little jeans, you feel me?
Yeah. You wasn't like, all right, this is what everybody, let's go and cop.
You ain't never seen me with my pants under my ass.
Yeah.
I ain't with that fucking my jeans on my back of my knee.
Wow, that's
Can you imagine the sold out show? He's about to come out and blow the whistle and he got the big red boots on.
Yo.
Bro, you would go super viral.
Yeah, it would though.
You'd be like in China. They'd be like,
that's true. That part of it is
true.
You would go viral if you had them boots on.
I can't do it.
You a little bit.
Yo, get them cold mischief and get them boots.
The jeans, you was like,
that's crazy, man.
You should get them joints.
Cause do that kind of.
Hey, bro, you should get them red boots.
Get them boots, man.
But speaking of viral, he just went viral recently for going to the White House. How they let a pimp in the White House?
That's crazy.
Well, the Warriors organization is proud of the support that they get from E40 and my man Mr. Fab and myself, and they like that Oakland connection because you know they were in Oakland for so long and they moved to Frisco. They're like, we got to keep Oakland as the family. You know, they only moved across the water, so it's all Bay Area. But they reach out, bro. Like they always reached out. I've been doing performances at the Warrior games for years. Like long before the new championship team. Like even when the Warriors weren't even embracing hip hop as an organization, we still would go up to the stadium. No tickets. They like, who you with? We walk in the side door like we had a concert. It was always love.
I never knew that. That's dope.
And they played the music in the stadium. You know, they wasn't really breaking bread with us, but it was still, it was what they could do. But then when the 2015 Warriors kicked in, everybody got up on them when they won the chip. But it was a year before that when Mark Jackson was coaching that they was a good team, and we in the city we could feel it. We knew it was there, but nobody believed it. To that run, so you know.
So how was the food in the White House? Did they give you McDonald's or they?
What that taste like?
I didn't really go for the food. Like when I say I didn't go for the food, I mean I didn't go there for the food. It was food floating around. I was like, man, I'm not really. You know, it was passing out hors d'oeuvres and shit.
Champagne.
I'm like, if you ain't finna sit me down and give me the White House dinner, I don't want the hors d'oeuvres.
Right.
Fuck all that. So I probably grabbed a glass of red wine. I was mixing and mingling. I was trying to really like connect with the VP. And I got that moment where she was like, you know, when I went away to college, I pulled up with my Too Short CD and I was she was like that. Most of the folks didn't really know about it. She was turning folks on to Too Short, so coming from the town. So I needed that moment. That was the big moment for me.
Right.
But then it was a lot of Bay Area people in the house too, because if you like are somebody that can make shit happen in DC, and the Warriors was coming, you pulled your strings. Like, I was like, well, you can't, no, I live here. Like, but do you work here? No, I'm just here. Like, they was in that motherfucker.
Mad love.
It was a real Bay event. And then the players got a kick out of seeing me and 40 and Fab there, so that's cool.
That's tough.
You didn't remember back in the days, I think Eazy-E tricked them and went there. Like
It was something like that. He got like Jerry Hell, they got an invite.
I mean, you got invited, but these guys went with their real name, but they didn't know that it was Eazy-E. They didn't know it was Ice Cube and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all a play on words. Easy kind of promoted that shit. I think after he went in there quietly, and after the fact he's like, yeah, I was in the White House. Mine was a different journey, man. I was.
It's like crazy though.
I've said things, political statements in my songs.
Of course.
Like Nancy Reagan sucked my dick. And
I remember that.
And I wasn't thinking that shit when I was in there, and then Fab or somebody trying to be funny was like,
He brought it up.
You think they tripping on what you said about Nancy Reagan? And I'm looking around like shit. If we were all walking and I just disappear, you know what the fuck it is.
They brought me here to take me out.
See, these guys always laugh at me because every time if I go to the White House, so there's certain things I would think about. Like Bill Clinton getting ahead. You didn't think about that? You being Too Short.
You know the weirdest thing we did, and I'm not going to include this E40 on this because E40, I'm not going to drag my man under the bus, but me and Fab actually, we was walking around looking at the First Lady's portraits.
Oh, hell no.
And we was doing that like, you know.
You think you can hit?
She said,
You think she like hit?
we like, oh, this First Lady was terrible, but this one,
It's like, who could get it? Who could get it?
we wasn't really like, who could get it? Because they moved like older lady. We were like, well, he had his First Lady has some big ass titties. You know, we found that moment, man. You got to find that moment in the White House.
You just the goofiest, like.
But on the real, though, it was like some eye candy in the building, though. Like, not the kind that you would be like, hey, what's your name, baby? But it was eye candy up there for real.
You were saying it was a lot of eye to you.
Any of them say your hook? Did any of them say, what's my favorite word?
Somebody, I did hear the word bitch in the White House. That had to happen.
That's ill.
Because it was like so many like Bay people.
They're like,
I mean, the song. I mean, you can't.
Wild as hell.
Did the VP say,
Abraham Lincoln was
what's
that.
my favorite word?
Nah, she didn't go there. She didn't go there.
But that's what that was implied.
But her saying that she was
had
the one.
in
She said when she showed up at Howard University, when she first get to DC,
that's the Freaknik shit.
she pulls up with the Too Short shit because everybody pull up with their hometown music.
Yeah.
On college, going listen to this, listen to this. She
Yeah.
said she was bumping Short Dog.
Oh, I love that.
What's your favorite Too Short song?
It gotta be that.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, don't ask me what mine is. All of them now.
Life is too short. That's like we used to bump that shit in Queens Village randomly. You know, he always thought that New York didn't really fuck with him. I guess when you had, but you were at Apollo. You were at like you went to like the normal spots where.
But that was after Eric Sermon introduced me to in a different way with that Bayou song. That was a different. That was probably like 94, 95, 94.
Okay.
And Eric, I'm on like 7, 8 platinum albums. We did a song in Atlanta. It goes big in Atlanta. And Eric, I don't know who did it or how he did it, but it broke in New York. That was that song. Ha ha. That song. It was like some underground shit, but it was in the clubs, and that got me to the Apollo stage and all that shit. But nah, bro, I was.
But New York was late though. I remember like when it got like late.
Only person ever tried to explain something to me. Biggie tried to tell me that he was like, yeah, New York don't fuck with you, but in certain little pockets, there's little sections of real niggas that get what you're saying.
We wanted to be like West Coast, like we like the gang life, like, you know, all that gangster shit. People were trying to emulate that. That was like our movie. It's like watching Commando or fucking Terminator. Like we wanted to be like you guys.
A big part of my career, which I think helped me out a lot, was being a fan of hip hop from everywhere, and really like. At the moment I'm coming out, New York is very critical of everybody that's not from the 5 boroughs.
That's fine.
And I'm not saying not from the East Coast, not from New York, not from them 5 boroughs.
Yeah.
You was getting judged.
Yeah.
He's not
anything
lying.
outside of them 5. So I took that as, well, let me not try to be that, because that's what that is. Let me be everything but that.
Yeah.
But I really, like, at a young age, before I even got on, I was like, I'm finna look at this. I love Run DMC. I love LL. But everything I do in music is gonna be nothing like what they do.
Yeah.
And I was just like trying to find my space, and I found it.
Yeah.
Fire, man.
It's funny you say that. You talk about your knowledge of East Coast rap. I think you were one of the few West Coast rappers that was presented at the Grammys this past. It was like what the top.
Me and Ice-T.
Yeah. It was only like 2 rappers. Like, what does that say about you being like one of 2 rappers being noticed with all East Coast rappers for hip hop's 50th anniversary?
I mean, shit like that, opportunities like that come from networking, and I just say, I know I got the number called because I'm in the network. I really fuck with people. I really fuck with Questlove. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Philly.
They had me on as the Roots guest.
The Picnic?
No, on the show.
Oh, that's hard.
On Fallon.
Fire.
They had me come to the, you got to come to the show, and you with Fallon. I came to the show, and I was with the Roots.
That's
So, and I do the Roots, the Grammy party and shit. I fuck with them, man. So that is the connection that I think would make something like that happen. And then, I'm really down for the cause too.
Yeah.
I've been a part of hip hop 40 of them 50 years, so.
That's tough.
Well, I'm gonna stand up for New York in this type of way because back in those days, in the high life of like Greenhouse, Whip, Tunnel, Nels, for some reason those clubs kept your songs exclusive to them. So it's like it's exclusive type people that would know your record and turn up, but they didn't want the outside to fuck with it.
So to me, that's big. If you say
that it is big.
It was a certain time where you had nothing on New York radio, but you got played at the Tunnel. That's big.
Yeah, like I mean, bro, we DJs, we gotta have your song. Like that's like my fucking Scream record. That's like me performing.
That song, the music.
And it's in New York though. I'm not talking about West Coast. West Coast, you gotta be an idiot not to have it. But in New York, it's in New York clubs. Like Jay-Z turning up, bitch. Like
before that, he's on Hove's album on.
Oh my God. It was all good just a week ago.
Yeah.
And that's when the real MCs was kind of like, yo, we gotta fuck with Short. You know what I'm saying?
I was racking up some East Coast features. That was my way in. Was
that album?
I give all credit to Eric Sermon, but I'm telling you, when I did the motivation for everybody, that opened the door, I'm telling you, it was when I did not Jay-Z, because I did a song with Jay-Z before that song. We did Real Niggas Do Real Things.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But the one that had everybody going, I'm fucking with Too Short, was the Biggie song, The World Is Filled with Pimps and Hoes.
Wow.
That's when the phone started ringing. Niggas like, hey, bro, hey, man, can I get you on the verse? Can I get you on the verse?
Because that song was right in the pocket of how you really get busy. Yeah.
And Big was on fire.
Yeah, that's true.
That was album number 2. He was on fire. They was like, oh, Big, fuck with you. They like, what up, nigga? Like, everything changed.
I remember.
What was your favorite song you've either featured on or had a feature?
Shit.
It's hard,
so
man.
many,
so
bro.
Many, man. Shit.
Feature. I'm gonna tell you the most way out feature I ever did was Lady Gaga.
Oh wow.
Lady Gaga did a song with me, Twista, and T.I. And I always
Random.
That's interesting.
I always think, I was like, what is the common denominator?
Yeah.
And I was like, all of us revert to the pimp lyrics
This is true.
from time to time. So maybe Lady Gaga,
She up to something.
who is a cool motherfucker if you meet her,
Yeah, she
probably
is.
was like, I want to make some of these pimp rappers. That's probably what it was.
That's tough.
But that was way out there for me.
Is the pimp, like the whole pimp philosophy still lit like that? But back in the day, there was that pimp phase where that's how I even got Snoop.
What part of it though? Because there's a part where you look like it and act like it. There's a part where you actually do it.
The whole dressing and everything, because I remember there was that moment where that's how I got Snoop on the PIMP remix, because it was everywhere and Snoop was heavy in it. Like he was going to award shows with chicks with
Don
chains
Magic
on their
Juan
necks
brought
and
him
shit.
in the circle of the nationwide.
You were involved with all that
It's
shit.
called the Famous Players.
Oh my
They had a
God.
Players Club
you
thing
get
every year.
Yeah,
right?
you get a membership card and
What?
Come in with your
Yeah.
limp.
yeah, Famous Player.
So whoever dresses the more craziest or
Well, no, there's a lot of awards that you can win each year at the
what was in
event.
that cup, man? What was in that liquid? What was the liquid in there? Like the more
Different dudes had different drinks, man.
Oh, okay. What was the special-
Don't worry about what's
I
in
used to
my
make sure
cup.
my cup stayed empty. Because I ain't really want to be with the maintenance and shit. I drink my drink, but then I hold my cup.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, man. Every time they gave me a cup, I pretty much lost that motherfucker the same night. Like, I'm wild as hell, so I'm like, I have my cup. Where my cup?
Where's my cup at?
He'd be fucking gone, man. Somebody got the custom made too short.
I don't know what Don Majuan had in his
But look,
shit, man.
that pimping, that pimping about the fucking dressing up, that is an era that it is what it is. If you can work that, you can work that. If you can be that, but it's evolved into so many different looks. Like when I see a young pimp, nigga look like a rapper to me. I'm like, what?
Iced out and
I'm
all
like,
that
what bro
shit.
do? He rap? They like, nah, he got some brows.
I got them broads.
Got the AP. Got all
So
the
I
ice
mean,
and all
it's
that
alive and well.
Yeah.
I mean, also you got to give credit to the actual workers who now have multiple platforms to get away from a motherfucking pimp and get money.
OnlyFans.
Just get rid of y'all.
So I mean, you gotta,
How many, codes do you gotta have to be considered a pimp?
Like 10. I don't know, like 10.
Like, at what point are you?
So if you really want to know the truth, if you got one money maker and she's a real one,
Yeah.
a real one. So it's a fine line between, is that your girlfriend that turns dates, or is that your hoe? That's a fine line.
Okay.
And you can do it either way. You could be like, we cuddle at night and then she go hoe all day, whatever. You can do whatever. But
All right, man. Damn, man.
they call that boyfriend pimping.
Boyfriend pimping.
There's a name for it.
Sounds like
But
the relationship I'm in now.
you could be a real one if you had one real down chick that was down with you for a long time. And I just do the math. If she go get 25, 30 grand or more a month,
fuck.
and that's what y'all live, that's y'all only income.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. You out. Let's go get it, baby.
I'm saying that's a cool existence.
That's a pretty lucrative.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
job.
cool existence. So then double it and triple it. And see what you get. And see why it's so important to certain people. And then people would be like, well, why would you do that? If you can get that, why would you get at them? But if you put it all together and you go look at us as a unit, when the weak link happens, something happens, it still stands strong. We gonna go forward, and it's like you just keep the family, and people buy into that shit, and it works.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the family now, you're talking. We playing with, and we ain't even talking side hustles and shit you do. We talking like a little. We guarantee this $100 grand gonna come into the family a month.
Yeah.
Wow.
We good. Everybody whipping.
Yeah.
Everybody
Fur
eat
coats
good.
for the
look
ladies.
good.
The whole lifestyle.
So if you buy into it, if the person in charge is a good coach and the team is with it, you gonna work hard.
Did they have pimps making
But there's also another version, like people like me, who, most of my life I would consider myself a player and not, I rapped about the pimp lifestyle, but I put a lot of player shit in there too. But I'm a person like me, I just learned the game.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't need to have a woman turn tricks and give me the money. I don't need that business relationship. But everywhere I go in life, you're gonna treat me like a pimp.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a pimp with no hoes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're notorious, man.
You could be that.
Yeah.
You could be that in the corporate office. You could be that anywhere you walk through life. You seen the preacher do it.
I know they do it more.
Like, treat me like a pimp.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And quite a few preachers used to be pimps.
Yeah, I could believe
Oh
that.
my God.
That's a good way to change your life.
But back then, were they making like $500,000, like $1 million? Like, were their pimps making like 500 G's a month or 500 G's in a certain period, million? Like, wilding? Or were they famous? The movies about them and shit like that?
I think every time you see the pimp image celebrated, it's celebrated in a form of luxury. It's not when it's celebrated. We seen them make fun of it and shit and all that shit, but play it like it's some clown shit. But I mean, the truth, man, I can't really sit here and say I ever really condone the act of pimping. I'm from Oakland, and that whole shit is just very fascinating to me. The subject of it, the lifestyle of it and shit. I know a lot of my dudes that's like pimp-ish. I know a lot of real pimps. They do it. They hard. Like it's a stomach thing too, bro. You gotta be like.
You gotta be a certain
Like you
individual
gotta
to
have
do that shit.
you gotta
right?
have less feelings than most people to get into that shit. For real, for real. Yeah.
bro, you gotta
And
not care.
Yeah, and it's hard to do that.
Yeah, man.
So I just think that when you get into the lifestyle of it, man, you can't deny. Like with the way some of that shit Bishop Don Juan be posting about the past and shit, you can't really deny. You wake up on Christmas Day and it's you and 4 females in the bed and they all calling you daddy and they rolling weed up for you and running baths for you. Like you can't deny it.
Damn.
Like, oh, that fucking pimp, he's fucking trash. Like,
Nah, hell no.
like okay, I'm just saying.
But it's happening. It's real.
So it's just. There's a part to it where you like, I say, you talking about the dress up part and the look of it, or you talking about doing it for real? That's a whole different thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
When
a
you
whole,
talk about the pimp culture, the word bitch comes up a lot.
That's a nice word.
It's right. Why is that your favorite word, and how did it even come about?
Well, it's my favorite word because at a certain point in my career, it started being a moneymaker. Like literally, like you know.
Could you trademark that?
It wouldn't be.
I think it's the sound how he said
How he
it wouldn't
says
be
it.
pop-
You could trademark the.
But it wouldn't be
the
pop culture.
soundbite.
If I kept it to myself, it wouldn't be pop culture. It would just be mine. It wouldn't be.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be.
I get it.
It wouldn't
It
spread
wouldn't
like
be
that.
what it wouldn't be what it is.
Like if I trademarked it and I said Snoop Dogg, you can't say it. Then we missing 90% of the world that heard it. Probably the world, the planet Earth outside of USA probably heard Snoop Dogg say bitch. It makes it better when they hear me say it. Like it's a thing. It's not like, oh, that's too shorts.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a gift of pop culture, man. How could you? I look at a Dolomite movie, and Dolomite in the movie is like, bitch.
every fucking
Yeah.
minute.
How can I sit there and go, that's my shit, Dolomite? I was a little ass boy when he said that shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's pop culture, man. And it's something that, why does it feel so good to say that? Why is it, you know?
Yeah.
Who was that politician that was against y'all? That black lady. I forgot her name.
See Dolores Tucker, that's the one you're talking about?
Yeah, she was like really against like, you know, you.
There's a whole lot of movements, but I was never on the shit list, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
How
'cause
you
wow.
just
How you
Damn.
avoid that?
He navigated a
How the hell
lot
did you
of
do
shit.
that?
Like,
I was never on the shit list of
She
the
hated
names.
Uncle Luke. Remember?
Yeah, they was mad at the ghetto
Yeah.
She
boy.
wanted
They
to
was
kill Uncle Luke.
It was mad at the 2 Live Crew. I was always under the radar.
That's
have
wild.
you ever performed those type of songs at like corporate functions?
So this is what I do. So I have a show that I'll do. Like, let's say I get paid full price. I get to the show and it's like 35 people. I go out on there full price and I get them 35 people the best show ever. Like I just put hella energy and just act like this 35,000. I can put my mind in that frame of mind. But I get in front of a crowd, it's like little kids. And I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do? So now I'm like editing the curse words. I'm saying we can't do certain songs.
You curse every second.
I'm trying to like rock it for these little kids the best way I can.
Yeah.
So then you put me like in a corporate setting or like let's say I'm just somewhere like, it might sound foul, but this is how I have to work. like let's just like it's an older crowd, like even older than me, and I come out and they looking at me like, well, what is this guy? Like, you know, like I did a couple of weddings and some of their family members. So in that situation, when I start getting the looks, like what? That's when I go super raunchy. Yeah. And I like put the super extra dirty on everything. And I swear to God, the person who's like looking at it like, what is that? They fucking relax. Mm-hmm. They start laughing. Yeah. I like, she sucked my dick, bitch. And grandma goes, so I gotta.
She's like,
that's like that's like in the wedding crashes when they sing the song in the wedding and they start cursing.
I can look at the crowd though and see where I need to go with it.
Mm-hmm. Especially like the Bible Belt areas. Like, that's the worst.
Yeah, I did shows out there when they were like, they told the crowd nobody can stand up. Like you can't cheer. You gotta. The Bible Belt, like back in the 80s, they had some rules.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, for real. So you've like really seen the evolution of so much of this like music game and
the rules,
what you can do and can't do. Now, how is it now?
Censorship. You're like the king of avoiding
we were getting
that.
arrested in the 80s.
Yeah,
they were getting handcuffed and taken to jail and charged with obscenity laws and shit in the 80s.
And now it's just
so they really like lock you up. Like they tell you like, yo, you coming with us, like, and they give you like a fine and shit like that overnight or.
Yeah, it's just you pay a fine and get out.
Damn, they really lock you up for that shit.
It's just an inconvenience.
I mean, I saw it in the NWA movie, but I didn't know everybody else was going through that shit.
No, it was happening in quite a few cities. They warn you or they post it, it's in the dressing room, they tell you what right before
and the cops
come
there and will stand there.
If you, in this city, or wherever, the county or whatever, if you say curse words, the list of words printed out in front of a crowd is illegal out here.
Oh, shit.
And that includes like sexual body gestures. They was arresting Prince for Prince
gyrating and shit.
Prince he used to jump on the bed and do the, you know. LL got arrested. He used to do the same thing, get on the floor and you know, act like he beating the thing up and you're under arrest, sir.
He got locked up for putting oil on his six pack.
You're under arrest.
Now I mean,
you know that.
You don't have to do that.
You do it, man.
You don't have to do it.
Man. You
better get fucking arrested right now.
I apologize, man. I'm just trying to, remember the time. Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? Come on, man.
We got to talk sports before you go because we know you're a big sports fan.
Chiefs.
Raiders fan like myself.
Oh, no.
Raider Nation.
Who we getting this year, man? Who we getting?
What quarterback we gonna get?
Yeah.
Damn, that is a big fucking mystery.
Who do you want to see?
You almost had Brady.
Here you go.
I think I don't know the fucking science of the shit to yay or nay it logically, but I think Lamar Jackson looked like a Raider. Looked like a Raider.
That's what I'm going for.
That's what he said.
He looked like a Raider, so
I say it all the time.
He might, things click. Like, okay, one that tripped me out was the fucking switching of the quarterbacks, Detroit and the Rams. Mm-hmm. And the shit actually, like, it didn't work for the Detroit the first year, but it worked last year. Yeah. And it worked for the Rams right away. Like, that was crazy because they both was, like, fucked up where they was at, and they switched. And somebody seen it. So, football is one of them sports where it's like an orchestra, bro. You got to put all the right parts together.
Yeah.
Well, in that game with Chiefs and Raiders, why did they lose so bad? Was there something going on? Did they switch shit out? I don't know. They said they had to.
About the last home game.
Yeah, I was there. I was like, what's going on here? Like, what happened? Like, did they switch like players or something?
That game was like the Super Bowl, bro. What are you talking about? Yeah. It went down to the wire.
Wow.
The 49er fans, they were so happy to beat the Raiders that day. I couldn't believe the team that had so much success last season and was of that caliber after they seen our stumbles. And, we had a good team last year, but just it was one of them, in football, you had those seasons where the shit don't click, even though you can see the talent, you see the progress, you see it, and it just don't click in the W's. And we had one of them fucking seasons, like, most of the people hate the Raiders, so to see the L, when the highlights go by, they like, fuck the Raiders. But we played some good-ass games, and it could have been that. The AFC West was Kansas City's, no doubt. But for a minute there, Kansas City came out kind of slow. It was like, it looked promising for anybody that wanted to just step up and be it. KC did it, and they went all the way with it. So, long as somebody from our Division One, AFC West.
And you perform at the Raiders games, too,
At the game, you talking about the Raiders 49ers. It was New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. And the 49ers, they were supposed to beat the shit out of us. That was like the morning Oh, you about to whip y'all ass, 49, bang, bang, night again. Like, man.
I mean, I know one of your bucket lists would be to perform at Super Bowl, but with your content,
Me at Super Bowl, hell no.
imagine like you older kids.
I wouldn't mind being a part.
Like a part of a set.
I wouldn't mind being a part of something doing blow the whistle at Super Bowl, but I wouldn't want to do a Too Short show.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I would love to see that. Talk to Jay-Z,
that song
man.
itself would be amazing.
Do a Too Short show at the Super Bowl.
Talk to Jay-Z, man.
I couldn't wait to hear the comments right after.
Yeah, man. You thought we had Rihanna last year. This year. That'd be the illest commercial ever.
Everybody.
That's an ill commercial.
That's all
no
they would
cap.
have to say. Imagine how much money would be spending, saved in advertising.
Everybody
You know,
will tune in.
That's it. Drop the bit.
Super Bowl, the last few performances, I see where they're going with it. Whoever's behind that, if that's
Jay-Z.
if that's Jay-Z doing
Yeah.
that, commend that brother for that because it's been a good look.
You have your own Super Bowls anyway. When you and Mount Westmore perform, y'all be selling all those crazy ass arenas and shit. Like, you got a Super Bowl every fucking way you go.
It's dope, man.
Isn't that crazy?
Mount Westmore is a real fun.
How long is the show? Like 3 hours and shit?
We did that. That was a gift.
Oh, okay. You did
It
that.
was a gift. It was a
Never gonna happen
I
like
was
that
like,
again.
God damn.
We're gonna trim it down to like
Okay.
get 90 minutes. It's gonna be hour 45 or something. But we were doing that just to show you, just to get
greatness.
that buzz and that. Like we went out there and we just really just did like a 2-hour show, like 2 hours plus.
How did y'all come together, and who made the call to bring y'all together?
It was the quarantine, man. It was strictly the quarantine.
COVID.
Everybody knew everybody was home.
Yeah.
I think 40 thought it up and ran it by Cube because, his logic was that everybody probably was going to get on board, but Cube might. So he's like, let me hit Cube first.
Oh, wow.
And
That set the tone.
Cube was like, shit, I'm with it. They called me. I'm like, shit, y'all ain't even have to call me. It's good. And they called Snoop last. He was like, hell yeah, I mean. So it was something that just the quarantine made it happen, bro.
Yeah.
Like we really made a lot of songs.
Together? Or y'all was in the same room?
We released 16 songs.
I heard
on the
more
project
than that.
dropped.
Yeah, it's like
You came around
60
early
songs.
stages. It's like 50 songs recorded.
Did y'all, were all four of you guys in the studio at the same time at any point?
We didn't do a lot. We didn't do a lot of that. We was sending them around, just send them.
Yeah.
We was just
But
working.
who had the cheat code that had all the like verses and then they had to write last? Was it Ice Cube?
Cube cheated the most.
Cheat ass nigga. I do it. Man.
He'll let everybody else go.
He cheated the most. Then he come in and like do the prolific Cube, super writing kind of.
Yeah. Today was a good day, huh?
E40 got the
guy.
energy. He like to set the song off. The most.
Hooks and all that shit.
Yeah, he want to just like he want to put that energy in there because he feels like he has the most youthful energy of all of us. And like whatever.
Do you
He
get
got a good ear though. He has a damn good ear.
Do you get mad that I'm one of the blessed ones to be in the studio and you see when you guys come together like Voltron, there's an energy you cannot describe, like Snoop, Cube, like even just like three of y'all. It's just like when y'all come together, I can't explain it, man. It's just like I don't know.
It's like we it's like without looking in the mirror, we all like feel like we're in the room with our young selves. Like it feels like that,
Have y'all ever toured together as younger artists?
We've done every combination you could think of
Really?
as far as making songs. Like all four of us: Too Short, Ice Cube, E40, and Snoop. Every combination you could think of, we made songs.
Yeah.
These three, these two, that.
Right.
It makes sense now.
And the same thing with shows. We've done shows. I did tours with Cube.
Yeah.
Like tours, like major tours. Like the first tour he ever went on, I was on, straight out of Compton. The second tour he ever went on, I was on. We did a fucking a tour off of America's Most Wanted. Wow. And I had Short Dogs in the House. And I mean, I did a million shows with Snoop, a million shows with E40.
God
like
damn.
It's just the fact that
Crazy.
Mount Westmore became a group. I think the main factor that those guys would tell you was that we were all friends.
That's hard.
Like it wasn't like, hey man, I know the logical thing to do. It just happened to be this mutual friendship all the way across the board, and the fact that like we are the foundation of the West.
Right.
Like you can clearly argue that
Building
Dr.
blocks.
Dre and Ice-T and shit, but the logic of putting the group together,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it just makes sense.
Right.
And you know, I know who Mount Westmore is. I can name you the few people that could have been in that group. The you know, the DJ Quicks and the Warren G's.
Ice-T would have been crazy too.
The people that have the resume to be in it, but you know, it is what it is, and everybody who could have been in it, we all still fucking get together. We do shit, you know.
That's dope.
But you said you have 50 songs. Are we gonna get another?
I got like 16 of them.
I mean, most definitely.
Master Flex.
Most definitely, shit's coming out.
Yeah.
I can promise you,
It's definitely
that
coming out.
Volume 2 is coming. I can't promise you Volume 3 because shit evolves so fast.
Yeah.
And these
Songs sound dated.
no, these niggas be like, I'm free next Tuesday, and then I'm free again next year.
Yeah.
That's just how it be, man.
Yeah.
How many pussy rappers had your number to get out of trouble? I know E40's cell phone number was lit back in the days for help going to the Bay. Yo, they got us surrounded. Help! And then they call you or E40.
I think
That man's
say
help.
this, you can't call for help.
Okay.
You could call, what we all mutually do is call the right people when we go certain places, and you just be like, I'm around. What we doing or what we not doing or what is it? And you just get your info on as you stand around and go places. We ain't
But some of them
going up
got situations though, and then they're like stuck. So,
But
and I know E40. had
I'm
a
not.
couple
I'm
phone-
not the call, and I'm not the 911.
Okay.
Don't call
He like,
me.
yeah, I
I
don't.
definitely was. I'll tell you
No.
that right now.
I'm the before call, and I'm like, do what I say, and you good. Just pull up. I'm like, roll with the homie. I'm never like, go here, don't go there. I'm just like, roll with the homie. The homie got you, or roll with us. We rolling here. If you stay in the right hands, there's not gonna be a problem. If you venture from that, that's out of my league. So
Oh shit.
I'm not on the, bro, we corner, what we gonna do? Like, if you my family, if Scarface called me and was like, nigga, I'm hanging off a cliff, these niggas,
Oh, you there?
these Bay niggas is on me, I'm like, nigga, I'm finna run to the rescue for my nigga like that. But,
Yeah.
Right.
but you know, I go places and I just deal with certain people. Don't gotta be celebrities, it's just certain people that you feel comfortable with, like that person is respected in their area like I'm respected in mine. So I'm gonna fuck with you when I get to your area. You call it to check in, whatever, but it's just smart to like have
And that's
people.
everywhere though. You go to
yeah.
Chicago,
Everywhere.
You
Say
go there.
let's say
the
you go
rule.
somewhere like you go to Chicago and you don't really have people there. Well, don't play with Chicago.
Yeah,
then.
don't just
Like,
be out
go
in
to
the
your
street.
restaurant, go to your hotel. do your
And
show.
call it right. Right. No, that's
100%.
Then when you meet some people you trust and know, then you can go see Chicago. You don't just, you know what I'm saying? You just don't get out like that. So
Well, speaking of checking in, you've obviously been in LA and in the Bay back and forth. Who has the best weed, LA or the Bay?
well, everybody knows that NorCal originally always had the best shit. You can argue this shit all the way up to.
Oh my God!
You can argue this shit all the way up to BC, Canada. You can argue this shit, the
Humboldt.
history of LA weed. You can argue it.
Yeah.
So when you get up in the mountains, everything that
Humboldt County.
you would have that you're doing something good with, it gotta have the origins from that.
Yeah.
Even like all the way up through Oregon to Washington State to BC. Those are the hippies of the Bay moving and taking that shit or being in connect with each other, growing that shit and telling each other how to grow it as seeds or whatever. And LA is a part of that extended family. So when you get to certain places, you go, man, we got that better. Like, yeah, somebody got something that's better.
Yeah.
But overall, you can't really fuck. Like, nobody. I went to Amsterdam. You can't
Still no.
fuck with that Humboldt. Them mountains, them white boys up in the
Yo,
mountains.
I,
Amsterdam
gotta
was
get,
whack.
I need to get some of that.
I ain't like Amsterdam.
It didn't have what I wanted.
Yo, so I'm not bugging, right?
They don't have no gas.
Amsterdam don't have no gas.
This would be trash. This would be trash.
Yeah.
We finally found one that was like,
It's
good
more of
for us.
a,
Right,
it's more of a
okay.
little
but it
vibe.
wasn't an overabundance.
It ain't no better than couldn't wait to get back.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's more of the cafe. It's just more of the lifestyle.
Novelty.
It's a vibe, you know.
Nah, it is the vibe, but
Yeah, I think
that
Think about
weed
it like
was-
this.
if you smoke like how we smoke, and
Because you want to say LA got better weed?
1000%.
So think about this.
Talk to me.
As we invent the new flavors that like go viral and go motherfucker, where do all these flavors come from? The fucking cookies and all the goddamn all them. Where do they come from?
But isn't it
We come with a new weed every goddamn 6 8 months. Like something.
But y'all's outdoor, no?
Do you know Be Legit?
1,000%. Yeah.
Come on now, like don't take me back to the history.
I'm letting you rock. You going for 50 right now.
Call B-list that name from Strains. Like
this guy.
Come on, bro. Like you can't argue that.
It ain't up for debate.
I got you.
Niggas in LA was growing weed in Griffith Park.
Oh my God.
Like a public park illegally. This shit booby trapped if the motherfucking
Oh my God.
if the authorities try to get there, they fall in a hole or some shit.
Didn't Tupac love the weed in the Bay more than Kelly? Or
I'm just
I heard
telling
it was a
you,
little
man.
rumor.
I'm not even like an expert, but I know what this is.
Yeah.
I know what it is, and it's like I speak highly of the whole West Coast, from fucking San Diego all the way up top. We got that good weed.
I can get it. I can dig it.
But don't make,
It sounds like we need to take a trip.
Yeah.
Definitely.
you,
Because
have you been in the mountains?
So people from
I gotta
our hood
go.
used to,
I wanna
OGs
see.
used to send. They used to send some of the gangbangers to Humboldt
Everything.
County
to make
community
connections. I know,
college
yeah.
to get connections and send
we
the
gonna smoke everything.
Man, this
band back.
motherfucker's walking up to you, bro, like fucking teenager with a bud the size of your wrist to your elbow. Like, hey, try this too short. My grandma grew it.
what?
Yeah.
Whole family generations
Generations grown.
it's the fucking livelihood. I don't know where it's at now, but I'm saying when it was before the legalization,
Yeah.
and it was that that fucking documentary, what was that shit called?
Which one?
The documentary about Humboldt County where they was gangster up there.
Nah.
That was a good ass
They got
documentary.
a movie on Tubi that talks about Humboldt County weed.
Well,
It's
look,
ratchet.
it's
It's
gotta
ratchet
get
shit,
that.
though.
I want some of this
It was
smoke
like a
now.
whole season. It was like a Murder Mountain. Is that what it's called?
Murder Mountain.
Murder Mountain.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah,
That's the name of the weed, Murder Mountain?
No, not the weed.
Oh.
The documentary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All he focused on is he want to smoke. He want to smoke.
get that
weed.
Murder
He wanna-
Mountain.
He
Smoke
want to
that Murder
smoke
Mountain.
that.
Get that Murder Mountain.
It was a section of Humboldt County that was just like it was very mysterious and very like you couldn't control it. It was no man. You step in that shit and step in the wrong shit and you'll never see you again. All they find is your heart.
Oh my god.
So before we go,
The ugly side of weed.
Damn.
no, before we go though,
Scared the shit out of me.
you've done a lot of immaculate things in your career, from White House, performing all over the world, obviously doing Mount Westmore. Where does Too Short see himself in the next 3 years?
Like I said, man, I just want to do things that when you look at it, it's things that nobody else did. I would love to just keep making music so that somebody could be arguing one day and be like, bro, your old ass can't be rapping. And like, nigga, Too Short did it, E40 did it,
Yeah.
Puff Daddy, Jay-Z did it, Puff did it.
Exactly.
Like, I want to be a part of that example of motherfuckers was
Snoop
functioning.
did it.
Right.
So now we in our 50s,
Yeah.
and we stamping it. Like you can't sit me down, sideline me. And I love the little homies getting all that money and taking their turn at like having it their way. I love that shit. But at the same time, as the changing of the guard comes, you could be the new guitar player on the block, but the OG still gonna get his money, bro.
Yeah.
And I just want our industry to be that. We haven't gone that far out to have these things established. So we got Grandmaster Flash on a high level, DJing well into his fucking 60s.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We got so many people that are eating off hip hop, something they did as a hobby as a teenager. They're eating off of it
Yeah.
all their life.
Absolutely, man.
And we got a lot of examples. I just want to continue that as long as I can. If you gotta wheel me out in a wheelchair and I can fucking rock the crowd, I'm going out.
I'm gonna be with you like,
I'm going out. I'm going.
you
You should.
put both of us out there. You know?
Because it's still a relevance. It's still a place for however long you want it to go for.
I mean, think about hip hop's future, bruh. Okay, let's say twerking kind of just goes away finally.
Yeah.
Been around forever, but let's just say it just becomes a thing of the past. What do you think today's young girl gonna be doing at the family reunion 30, 40 years from now?
Twerking.
Twerking. They think like, your grandmother crazy. But I'm just saying, bro, like, I just want the story to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Grandma was doing the fucking jit and all them dance. Our grandmas was doing whatever dance they do. Two-stepping and shit. Man, the new grandma's gonna be twerking.
Electric
bro.
slide.
So this hip hop shit, all I'm saying is, it's going to a place where we've never been. It always started that way. It's like the blob. It just keeps growing. So at 50 years, what's gonna happen in the next 10, the next 5?
That's true.
Come on, let's go, man.
I mean, the last question is: in another 50 years, you think Too Short songs is gonna be bumping in spaceships going to Mars or shit like that?
I think that I made the kind of music that
Niggas taking
just
off
like anything you like, anything you like from before your era.
Yeah.
A song that came and went before you was even
Timeless.
born. A song that played to your parents' delight that you just was around and learned to like because they put it on you. Shit like that. Like Motown is not really our music. But that shit sounds great.
Right.
You feel me?
That's crazy.
Well, you made Getting It. That's like a family song. Like that's like the hustler song. That's the
So you take a
educational
song like I did The Ghetto.
Yep.
Now The Ghetto, to my mama, was Donny Hathaway The Ghetto, not Too Short The Ghetto.
Yeah.
So somebody else could right now, a young cat can make a version of The Ghetto, and it's gonna live another generation.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
That's hard.
it would happen if somebody did it. That song would be a hit again. It got them fucking vibrations. So I think that I got a lot of good vibrations that I recorded.
Especially with the Jewish people with that Hanukkah song you got. That shit is
And I
classic.
put so much of it out there that
Wow.
it's shit like that. Like, what if that was the only song that would survive by me 100 years from now?
You imagine the Hanukkah song
Still around, bro.
Right.
Anybody
Right.
you wish you could perform with or have a song with?
I think he did it all.
Or did it all?
Yeah, I mean, I got a list of motherfuckers that I would get down with, you know, that I would have did shit with that we never came across each other. I just think that I learned that collaborations bring out the best in us. It's like, you know, there's sports with the super teams and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you put me in the studio with anybody of that upper caliber,
it's over.
and now there's two things I got to do.
Shit'll get off the
I'm
pot.
under fucking pressure because this motherfucker is about to like bring it, and then you gotta really you can never be the guy that go, that's a dope ass song, but Short was whack on that motherfucker. You can't be that guy. There's like 3 rappers on there, 4 rappers, and they say, but Short whack. Like
that version.
Any song you think somebody got off on you and you was like, damn, he got me.
I mean, Biggie on fucking when the Remy's in this, ain't no telling what. Like, you can't follow that.
Yeah.
Like, how do you follow that? If you listen to the song, I said my rap, and my only my little moment of like being me in there is I talk after I rap.
Yeah.
I was talking some old wild ass crazy pimp shit, and even though he gassed me, he didn't gas me on the pimping.
He got you.
So I had a homie with me in the studio, and I was like, "What the fuck I'm supposed to do now?"
Oh, he went first.
Right.
Puffy recorded his verse. Puff got verse 1. Biggie's 2. I'm 3.
Right.
Puff recorded his shit before we got there. So his shit is already ad libs and shit. He got Carl Thomas on the hook.
Carl Thomas.
Yeah, he turned it up, and we all like, "Ooh, this shit hot." And Biggie go in there and just gas it. Now I got a whole song finished, except for my little empty space,
Wow.
and the pressure was on. So you know,
Puffy might have designed it that way.
I mean,
That's a
Puffy's very
perfect song,
motivational in
though.
the studio. If you ever if you seen it or heard about it,
I've seen it.
I seen him walk into a session that we was in there long before he got there, and fucking everybody was vibing. That nigga walked in and said, "I can't dance to that. Make something else."
Yeah,
and
fuck the whole shit up.
that shit was over, and the shit that they made
Was
that he
fire.
approved. Yeah, it was like
He ever make you change a verse?
not Puff. Only motherfucker that do that verse scrapping shit is
Dr. J.
Dr. Dre.
Wow.
He made you?
I did one song with Dre. Nobody never heard it, but it was the longest verse, the longest process I ever did.
Like, what was your attitude? Like, nigga, you know who I am? Like, or
No,
you was
my
humble?
attitude.
It was Dre.
My attitude was
Cool.
do your homework before you step into this arena.
Oh, wow.
And I called Snoop Dogg. I said, I'm about to do a song with Dre. You know, what's the deal? He said, just remember this. He only gave one piece of advice. He said, whatever he says do, just do it.
Wow.
That's all he told me.
Yeah.
So as he had me doing this verse very intricately, I kept hearing Snoop. He said, "Do it." So I don't know. I think because they said Dre be trying to break certain niggas in the studio, like
Yeah.
trying to break you.
yeah,
And see if you gonna walk. Man, fuck this shit.
Yeah. You kept
So
going.
I just did it. I wrote it till the wheels fell
How many
off.
times? Yeah, if you can remember.
It usually takes me like an hour to write and record a 16-bar verse. I did a 16-bar verse with Dre. It took 2 8-hour sessions and another 4-hour session.
What?
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
He
The
wanted it
last
perfect.
4 hours was just for one word.
Yo,
2 words.
What the?
2 words. The pussy.
He wanted you to say it in a certain pocket, or
I still hear it in my sleep. The pussy. The pussy. Gotta say it like that.
we'll end it with this. Yeah.
But it's funny though, 'cause I go, the pussy. He go, nah, say the pussy. The pussy. No, the pussy.
Yeah.
The pussy. Say that shit all day.
Damn.
So you got it.
Has Too Short ever met Michael Jackson? You ever linked up with him? I don't know.
I didn't meet Mike. I got a couple of what's ups to Prince, but I never meet Mike.
Really? There's no Michael Jackson story with Too Short? Like back in the days, you never like. That's
I
crazy.
mean, I've heard from people that Mike ain't who you think he is on that.
What does that mean?
I heard that too.
Like he like a regular ass dude that just talk shit. And like, he wasn't like. He wasn't like.
Here we go.
Like, say,
Man,
Here we go.
Men's.
He about to get us. He about to get us.
You know what I mean?
I've heard that he was just a regular dude, but you know, shit. How you gonna not be a Gary, Indiana nigga? How do you not?
Right. That's what I'm saying. He probably was
Sit there
really
somewhere, man.
Yeah, that's the hood.
Yeah.
That nigga yelled out the hallway one day, nigga, what GI, nigga?
right. Right. And it was with the
Bullshit.
curls.
Would you bring your chicks around Prince? Like, or was it like I heard people would not bring their girls around him?
I would bring my girls around anybody.
Oh, okay. Well, you Too Short. I forgot.
Like, I don't have that. Like,
Not me though.
no, it's freedom of choice, bro.
Why not?
He'll take my chick.
If you with your girl and she says to you, I'm probably gonna stay here with Prince.
Oh, man.
You say to her, have a good time.
What?
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
That's
like,
it.
I'm like, if I was your lover.
It's her choice,
You're
man.
a wild guy, B. I don't know,
It's her
man.
choice, though. It's her choice, bro. You should.
It's
you
her
should feel
choice.
like that's kind of cool. She told me that because she probably was gonna tell me she had to
honestly.
do something after you got home, and she was gonna go back to Prince.
Oh yeah.
Then he's gonna be knocking down your girl. You
I
ain't
would
even
still
know.
cry though. I still be fucked
That ain't
up.
really.
You gonna cry?
Yeah, I cry.
Because he took your chick?
I mean, he was taking wives away.
So?
Prince was taking wives away. Like
From who?
Like, I don't want to snitch them out, but I know some celebrity dudes that went to like his house parties and
And they stayed. The girl chick stayed.
And the chicks literally, he just happened to
Disappeared.
just walk upstairs and they followed him
disappeared.
upstairs. And then the dude was like, "Yo," and that's like wifey or, you know, they're about to get
You know,
married.
he do this other thing I heard too. Like he'll take your chick and like give her like an experience. Like
What?
he won't even fuck her. He'll just talk like some real
Oh shit!
shit that's very interesting to her. And they have like a 4-hour conversation.
So she-
end up being
oh,
best friends.
He's mentally stimulated.
Worse than fucking her. He end up being best friends and like keeping in touch with her for
Yeah,
years.
all
and
that shit is the bad day for you, my nigga.
Therapy,
All that shit is a bad day for
Fucking in
you.
her ear, like
Yeah.
Him just fucking twirling his perm on your chick, nigga. That's a
my
bad
bitch
day
and
for
her
you,
ass. Fuck my
nigga.
bitch.
I was raised on that was what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be. They were supposed to have that. I was supposed to deliver her to him. It was supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how they were
Straight up.
supposed to meet. And
You might as well get it through your head when you get in the room with Prince, it's over.
Bro, you supposed to jump the gun and go. You supposed to pull up on him and you're like, bro.
I met
Yeah,
him
like-
my girl.
You like,
bro,
bro,
stay the fuck
I
home.
really think my girl's into you. I'm
Yeah,
probably,
like
I'm
already.
We're going to head out.
Yeah.
We're going
And sometimes
you gotta
you,
jump the gun and be like, it's
Yeah.
a gift. You ain't taking my bitch. I'll give it her to you.
yeah, because she's
Where your girl at? Okay, where your girl at? I'm like, huh?
not about to make me feel the ways this evening.
I can't.
But hey, you sitting in the middle and they got all the jokes together.
You know what? In my head, I just can't get.
And
in my
Prince
head
probably
that-
talking like a real guy from the town. Like he not talking like Prince on the album.
I just want to think him like entering my girl. I just.
Why would you think about that anyway, my guy? He's a wild guy. I don't know about him.
The pussy.
I know.
The pussy.
No, the pussy.
The pussy.
Say it again.
He ain't saying it right. The pussy.
Pussy. Let's get us out the pussy.
You'd have been there all day.
You would have been in there all night.
day.
No.
No cursing.
Crying.
No, seriously. We're
Crying.
you know, wrap this up. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
wrap it
up.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Please.
Whoa.
Thanks for coming, for sure.
Thanks for the weed, my brother.
Man, we appreciate
Pull
you.
up another one for sure. We gotta smoke one together.
There we go.
Ha ha ha! Everybody like engaged a little bit.
Oh, that was hella funny. Though.
Yeah. No, seriously. Thank y'all for tuning in to Cannabis and Kicks TV. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
The pussy.
The pussy.
Pussy.
Puff and pass the fucking rotation. Puff and pass the fucking rotation.